The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Reign After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Reign After Show.
Oh, the song never gets old.
Never gets old.
Hello, everyone out there. Happy 2014. We are here doing the after show for your favorite show, Reign. It is now back and better than ever. This is episode 9 for King and Country. I am your host, Keetin Marchi, and I have my lovely co-host here.
Ean Weslynn, that's me.
He is back.
I am back.
Our other 2 co-hosts and our lovely producer Phil are out tonight, unfortunately. So we just want to give a little shout out to Fania Thomas and Jesse Wilson, who you can catch on Sci-Fi's Opposite Worlds right now. So don't forget to tune into that show, but he will be back when all that is wrapped up, whenever it wraps up. We don't know.
He'll be back by the end of the season.
Yes.
So,
he wouldn't miss it.
I know that he misses you guys. I know that he misses the show.
How do you know? Is he like communicating to you from the future? Or
No,
from like
yes, he's actually, he's on the Sci-Fi channel.
He
They
is.
have technology that we do not have on the CW. So,
So anyways, I mean, this was a long break. It felt long.
So long. It's been what was it? It's been over a
December.
month.
Yeah, it's been over a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I do appreciate CW bringing Reign back earlier than I know a lot of other shows are coming back, and I really miss the show.
I missed it so much. It was so good to be back with Mary and Bash and Francis and Catherine and everybody. Like it was great. And Henry, it was good to see Henry.
It was so good, and we really appreciate all you guys out there, like leaving your comments, tweeting at us, and we just want to give a shout out really quick to Miss Samantha Renee, who is on Twitter at SamRenee2010, who gave us a sweet shout out, said she was excited for us to be coming back. So thank you, Samantha, and keep on tweeting. Let us know what you feel. Send us your comments, your tweets. Go to our iTunes page, rate us, give us five stars. Nice. Download us. It's free, so you can listen to us in your car, maybe while you're sitting in traffic, or if you're working out and you're really into Reign. Also, another shout out to our mashers out there who thank you for creating the mash, which is basically Bash and Mary together.
Those shippers, yeah.
So at Bash_Mary, who also gave us really sweet feedback, and we love you guys too. But should we jump into this, or?
I'm so excited to talk about this episode. It was easily, I don't know, spoiler alert, easily my favorite of the season so far. Every single episode gets better. Just before we get started about what actually happens, I did notice that this episode had a female director. I haven't noticed that before, so it's entirely possible there's been other ones, but I thought it was well directed today by Helen Shaver. And then the writers, great job today, writers.
So many reversals.
So many.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was so good, and they've we'll hit on the points when we get there.
Yeah.
But there's just these moments where you're just solid writing. And so the entire writers' room at Reign Writers, I think, is their handle. They're amazing. So
can you write us into an episode? I really just want to wear the pretty dress. You don't have to give me a freaking line. Just let me walk by in the dress. I'll pay my way. I really hashtag get Keetin on Reign because I want to be on the show. I love it so much.
I also would like to be on. If you need to put me in a dress, that's okay because they are fantastic. The wardrobing is just off. It's just amazing in this entire thing. So let's get started.
Well, before we get started, I know we have a lot of momentum.
Speaking about dresses,
if you do have a New Year's resolution and you're wanting to fit into a dress that might feel a little snug.
Without having that corset?
Yeah, without having that corset. Gosh, I wish corsets were still in style. But I know you've all heard of Slim Fast, and with Slim Fast, 2 weeks is really all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is actually brought to you by Slim Fast. So thank you, Slim Fast, for helping us keep these podcasts out there. We really appreciate it. And let's just get into this awesome meet. What a great way to come back.
Yeah, no, just seriously, just out of the park.
Amazing. Start us off.
Well, okay, so we start with Mary and Bash on horseback. And they're just riding. And so it's been about
sexual.
A week. I know. It gets there. So we see them riding. She's very she's into it, but she's somehow less enthusiastic about escaping from the King's men as it's going on, right?
Well, okay. Well, she has to keep up with Bash, and Bash, as we've heard before, is the best rider of all the King's men. They couldn't put Humpty together again.
I was gonna say he actually could put Humpty Dumpty back together again with a look from those smoldering eyes.
Oh my god! But he'd get to him before Humpty even fell. He'd just catch him in his arms.
Got you.
Oh yeah, got you, man.
No, but that's the kind of guy Bash is. So, all right. So we've got them. They're leaving on horseback. They chase them to a cliff, and we all know what happens when Bash is near a cliff. Somebody falls off of it.
Or their stunt doubles jump off of it, which is very apparent in this episode.
It was a great shot. But it was also very much not the actors. But it was a great shot.
I would like to believe that both the actor who plays Bash and the actress who plays Mary, I feel like they wanted to jump off the cliff.
There was definitely
but they told them they couldn't because you are our stars. You can't. We need to have your partially balding stunt double Bash and I don't even know if Mary's stunt double was a girl.
A very broad stunt double.
Yeah. So I don't know. But again, thank you stunt doubles for keeping our stars safe and for giving us that shot was sweet.
It was a great shot.
I do appreciate
awesome.
the shot. It was really cool. They just got a little too close to their faces, and it kind of took me out of it for a second.
We had a nice moment, but honestly, that was the only moment that we were out of this at all.
Yeah,
in the entire episode. So good. So they jump into the let's say river, but let's see. So then next,
what's the river Seine?
Oh, was it?
I don't know. Is that I know it goes through Paris, but
are they?
They're not in Paris, but does it go all the way up wherever they are? I don't know.
Let's say it is. I don't think they ever say specifically what body of water it is, but let's just say it's the Seine. Okay, so they jump in, they lose the king's guards, and then now we're back at the castle. And so the king is onto the queen, and he basically calls her out, and
he tells her she has a black heart. Okay, Francis.
There is no love between these two.
I think it also has to do because I'm sure Mr. Henry is super horny and pissed off.
King Henry, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm sure King Henry's really pissed off because his favorite mistress is gone, thanks to Kenna. And he doesn't really know why she left. So I'm sure it's even building even more. He's taking it out on his wife that he hates and calls her. She says, "Your black heart."
Yep, he says that. She says Mary is dangerous because she's in danger. She brings destruction. And then two of my favorite lines from the episode is, he's like, "I'll have you beheaded." And she's like, "I grow weary of your threats." To which he replies, "I grew weary of you a decade ago."
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh, snap!" It was good. That was excellent writing.
And their chemistry is so good.
It is.
I mean, even if they like start like I doubt this is gonna happen, but even if they switched it, that like there's some romantic thing came back, I would believe it. Those two actors work phenomenally together, and I love them both.
I'm gonna actually, what you just said there made me think of a prediction. I'm gonna save it.
You save it. Yeah, don't you?
I tend to get ahead of myself. I tend to get ahead of myself. But yeah. Anyway, so we now move to Francis. And so with Francis, he's talking to Catherine. And Catherine's trying to basically like get over her. Like she's gone, like get over her. And she's like, why won't you get over this? And to which he replies, because I sense your hand. Like he knows his mother.
Catherine can't win in this episode. She can't win. And even she has Mary fighting on her side, and she still can't win. But I have to say, Francis was so awesome in this episode. It was, the character was so well acted. It was so well written. And you were taken on this journey with him of heartbreak and deceit, but then understanding that, his job as crown prince is to do what's best for the country. And if what's best for the country is listening to his father and letting his bastard brother take the throne, he will do it, and he will do it with his head held high.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
I'm so sorry, but I have to say he was so freaking good.
Yeah, like mad props to Toby. He's who plays Francis.
Hashtag Toby rocked it.
Yeah. Hashtag Toby. Call me.
Hashtag Team Francis.
See, actually, I want to talk to you about that at the end.
Okay.
Because
we'll get
with
into
the
Team
shippers
Francis
and stuff.
Team Bash.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll see what's going on there. Okay, so just mad shout out to him. Let's get back on track to now we're back into the hotel room, or wherever they're well, I don't know, where they're staying at like a cottage. Basically
it's an inn.
It's an inn. Fine.
So they called it back in the day.
More like a motel. It was definitely, there was some Holiday Inn stuff going on there. Because they get there, they're all wet. They're so wet from jumping in that water.
Okay,
that they decide to get warm by getting undressed.
I know, Bash literally says, Mary, take off your clothes.
Yeah, he's like, now get undressed. And she's like, what? And then Bash is not bad. Yeah, right? She's like, what?
Oh my God.
Never done this before, except for like
I'm sorry,
a week
if
ago
Bash
with your
told me to
brother.
take off his clothes, I'd be like, yes.
Be like, what clothes?
I wasn't wearing any in the first place.
Bash is not bashful about some sneaking, some peeking at Mary while it's happening.
Yeah, but
he
wasn't that bad.
Well, she was doing it real slow.
respectful.
Well, he was looking. He looked many times. Hey, like I can't blame him. She's a very attractive young lady. But yeah, so that scene does not go as he would hope, as soon she's under the bed and he's about to lose his hand as the King's men show up, and they promptly bring them back to the castle.
And so by this point, we have discovered, like just hearing, they've been missing for 10 days.
Yep.
Okay. I'm a little pissed off about how clean, and I mean okay, Mary looked a little disheveled, and so did Bash, but they did not look like they had been.
Well, okay, but all right, so we only see them very briefly before they literally jump into water, so they should look relatively clean by the time they're in the hotel room. They've just washed themselves, but like I agree, because they look the exact same at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, like I was like, come on, maybe a little more dirt.
Well, like we were talking about later, we like our Bash with a little dash of dirt. Right
Bash is better dirty always.
Dirty. All right, so we get them back to the castle. Bash is promptly put into the jail cell. And Mary being queen, she's still doing all right. And then so Mary then, in excuse to Francis, goes, "My friend died, my heart broke." Like in terms
Francis,
Francis confronts her.
Obviously, I mean, we saw that in Francis's conversation with his mother earlier that like he is so, and we kind of said this, but just him staying by how much he loves Mary, and like it is no question anymore. Like he will do anything for her, just like Mary will do anything for him. And so of course Francis is going to be the first person that is going as soon as he knows Mary's in the castle. Of course he's going to go to her, and he does deserve an answer. I agree, and it again just awesome writing between the two, and just the chemistry is.
There's chemistry between all the actors.
Gosh.
Honestly, all the actors. The casting was great.
I just can't.
And I can't, and I won't. And I love the line, like, I was gonna give everything to you, and she goes, including your life. And and that's again the crux of it is she doesn't want him to die, and he doesn't want to live without her. You know, and so. Next, we have the scene with Mary in front of the king and the queen. And I love the line of women don't often say no to Henry. So Henry is basically like, you will make it up to us, this whole ordeal, by marrying my son Francis and going after England, like claiming the throne of England.
And don't you just love how ballsy Catherine is? Like Henry is king, sitting on his throne, having a very political discussion with another queen, and Catherine's over there interjecting with.
She's like, "Excuse me,
ugh, my husband, he's such an asshole. Like, he doesn't know how to deal with women. Like, he can't handle strong women. That's why he couldn't handle me. I had to go sleep around.
Yep,
like,
he can't handle a queen. He's used to them basics.
I mean, but you have to think that. At some point, Catherine thinks that Henry's going to be like, shut up and just either behead or something. But it's just, it blows my mind how ballsy she has gotten with Henry. I mean, it's like almost like she just doesn't care anymore.
Well, she has so little to lose. I mean, she has such a position of power. Well,
what do you mean she has so little to lose?
Well,
she has a lot to lose.
But like with how ballsy she is, I mean, she has to go he knows her. He knows that she's doing stuff, just like Francis knows that she's doing stuff. Basically, this entire episode is everybody calling Catherine out and being like, you're not that sneaky. Like we get you. Yeah. We know exactly what you're doing, especially with the stuff later with the assassin, which we'll get to. Wow, we're already at 17 minutes. So just to move things on, the king basically says, you'll marry my son, Francis, or I will execute Bash. And this is like the best crux of the episode, which is like you were putting her between a literal rock and a hard place, well, not literal, but if she marries Francis, he will die, and if she doesn't, Bash will die. And it's perfect. It's great.
And I loved how you go pause it, and I thank God for DVR. I paused it, and he was just like, and he literally said that exact line. I pressed play, like maybe a scene later. I think it was who was it? It was Kenna. Kenna said the exact same thing.
And so it's just like awesome, those are stakes right there, and so. And that's the thing too, is to remember that she still really just loves Francis. Like, she likes Bash, but and there's chemistry there. But in reality, I don't, aside from the kiss they had when she was drunk, nothing's really happened.
Drunk Mary.
Oh, drunk Mary.
Drunk Mary. She was drunk and angry at Sebastian.
Bloody Mary.
Sebastian, Francis.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another mention of Big Mama. And we've talked about on previous episodes, it's gonna be Amy Brenneman, or Amy Brennan, awesome actress from Judging Amy, and she will be on the season a little bit later. So
I cannot wait for her to come in.
I know, it's gonna be so good.
Excited,
so good. It's gonna be so good.
Because not only are we gonna see her, but we're also gonna see Elizabeth I. I don't know if they've cast her yet.
I didn't even know we were going to see her. That's awesome. Oh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
There's some news and gossip from a little while ago. But
okay,
we will see Elizabeth I this season.
Awesome.
So a little fight for the English throne.
Back on another line that was great is when Catherine is talking to Mary after this. and says, Francis is reasonable in all things, but relentless in his love for you. And that's really, you know, that comes back a little bit later too, but that's the point, is that Francis is so he's just as headstrong as Mary is, you know, and like he admires that about Mary, and it's the thing that they have in common, which is they go for something and they go for it. And
you know, it's what's so interesting in this series is that they came like out of the gate saying how bad love was. It was not a good idea. They weren't allowed to do it.
Well, that's why
like
they
it's
want
gonna
it.
F everything up. Like no love. And now it's just everything, every freaking move every character makes is because of love. That is the catalyst for everything in this show. And
I would say for almost everyone
it.
except for Henry. I feel like Henry's the only one that really does put country before the things he loves.
That's why he's letting Kenna sleep, and like that's why he like kicked out Diane and ripped out the tiles and all that stuff. Well, I understand in some respect, but that's everyone's weakness is love.
But he didn't kick out Diane. Like Diane left because of Catherine. Like Catherine does all of her stuff out of love for her son. Kenna, or like the king, you know, he's the only one that's like, you know, I will kill this son to make sure that this son is the ruler, or is the king of England. You know, like he's really he's throwing it down. Okay, so now
I'm so ashamed.
Oh no. Nope, that's why we're here to discuss. All right, so next we have Hotstradamus, Beardstradamus, whatever you want to call him.
Hotstradamus.
I just think he's attractive.
I think his voice is so sexy.
It is.
I wish he could narrate my life.
I was gonna say, I just want him to book on tape me something, you know? Like, doesn't matter. He can just read grocery lists to me.
I'm trying to read Game of Thrones right now, but if Hotstradamus would read it to me, it would be so much better.
Oh yeah,
right?
That would be
Can't
good.
you just see
yeah.
it? I can't even like.
You should just put his voice in your head when you read it.
I can't even pinpoint his accent.
Yeah,
it's so different, and I don't know, but
so manly.
It's just, and it's I just love it.
So he has Clarissa locked up behind his chambers. Which there seems to be jail cells just behind people's doors a lot. I don't know. And so in talking to her, he, you know, he doesn't like the fact that she killed Ailey and, pushed Ailey, assisted in it. And so to which he says, kings and queens may play gods, but monsters may not, basically. And,
we saw a little bit of
her face, and
you said cleft.
Yeah, cleft palate.
Cleft
palate. That's what it looked like to me. If you guys had a better look, we didn't really stop and DVR on it, but it was definitely, there was some scarring. But
and I saw some stitches too.
Yeah,
so.
I'm wondering if like maybe she's not a monster. Maybe, you know, because back in the day, a cleft palate would be considered like such a deformity that you know, one might shy them away. So that's really sad to me.
Well, and I still wonder, I wanted so bad to find out her relationship to Nostradamus. I wanted him to say it was very father-daughter, like
agree.
the way he was like disciplining her, and like the only reason I let you down. But then it's like, if that, like, who's your wife then, or who's her mother?
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see where that goes, and now I'm worried. Well, we'll get into it later, that we might not get to find out for a while because of the certain things that transpired and shivs that were made.
So, Clarissa shanks it all.
That's a shiv, right?
Yeah. Are shivs and shanks the same thing? I don't know. Actually, tweet us. Yeah, they are. Is that
they
a
are.
thumbs
Shiv.
up?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a shiv, but when you use a shiv, you're shanking someone.
You shank with a shiv.
I think this is a proper terminology.
All right. If you guys happen to have a little bit more insight to it, if you guys are listening from, say, behind bars, feel free to tweet at us and let us know.
Can you tweet from behind bars?
I don't know. They might be able to.
Now you're saying.
Okay. So now we get to Francis and Mary.
No.
Before the last thing is the stuffed animal that he gives her. Within it is the thing that shivs and shanks.
Yeah, is this piece of wood. Which, are you stupid? I don't know. But no, before we get to Francis though, can we Mary had in her little gaggle of geese. We saw all of them.
Oh yeah, this is when Kenna.
Oh, sorry.
That's when for some reason go on.
Yeah, can we talk about that because?
Oh wait, where is it with Kenna? Nope, Kenna's later. So right now we have right now I have Francis and Mary
All
talking.
right, then let's talk about Francis and Mary talking.
Yeah, Mary explains it
I'm getting
all.
ahead
The
of
queen was
myself.
right. Oliver, basically, she's defending Catherine to Francis, saying like all of her crimes against me were to protect you. And so this is when Mary just fesses up about everything. There's the prophecy and stuff, and I really loved her outfit in this scene. This was the silver outfit that she wears for the majority of the episode. Just fantastic, like just and it was like I called it gilded and guarded, like she was just, I don't know.
Well,
so
and she just looked
queenly.
She just looked so strong.
Mm-hmm.
It was it almost looked like chainmail.
Yes,
like body armor.
Yeah, that's what I
so
was thinking too.
it was like it was like the costume, and I love when costume designers do this, and they use kind of they let their voice be heard through the character about like what's in the writing, and I think that's when that's brilliant costume designing. So props to you. I can't think of her name offhand, but I know I talked about her earlier. But it was just so right for this episode, and just for the power that Mary needed to be portraying in this episode, because she was talking like this is my decision. Like, she's talking to the freaking King of France and telling him this is what we're doing, not can I do this. It's like, this is what I'm doing, and this is what you're gonna do. And that's the perfect segue. So when she's talking to Francis right then, what she's doing is that's her last ditch effort. Like, this is like, she tried not telling him about this thing, but she was like, you know what, maybe Catherine was wrong. And in reality, Catherine was right. He reacted exactly how she thought. And Mary was like, realizes it. And that's what leads us into the next scene when Mary confronts, brings out her third option. And Queen Mary makes a proposition, let me marry Bash and make him the next king. And that's... You got really deep on that. You're like, and make him the next king.
Long
live the king.
And I was like, oh, bastard. Like, she argues that bastards are being legitimized all over. And the king initially offers up, well, I'll make him a duke or, baron. And she goes, no, I need to be married to the man controlling the armies. To which I said, #preach. Like, and then what were your thoughts? Just like how strong she was. Did you see that twist coming?
I didn't. I mean, when Mary's okay. Blah. Let me get my thoughts together. You knew the King Henry did not want to kill Bash, and like you said, I guess you're very right, and I'm just going to reiterate that you were right in the fact that Henry will do anything for his kingdom, but I don't think he ever really wanted to kill Bash.
I agree.
And I think this is his scapegoat for him to still look powerful, not have to kill his son Bash, still get England, and still and put his favorite son on the throne.
Yep.
Like, it's like, I think King Henry's probably like, oh, I mean, that's probably a big reason of why he was able to agree to it, is just because, like, we know, and Bash knows, everybody, it's Bash knows, Francis knows, everybody knows, Catherine knows that Bash is the king's favorite. And so, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I saw it coming this soon, that it would be like, and like that everybody would just be like, yes, like, except Catherine, of course, but it's a great way to come back and kind of turn the tables on the audience, on the viewers, by being like, you've been rooting for Mary and Francis this whole time, but hey, now you better start rooting for Mary and Bash, because they're like what we're going to try to give you now.
Yep. I thought it's a great turn, and obviously we're leaving history with a lot of this stuff. But
Bash shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, fair.
History, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so like to have this switch, but it creates like this interesting, it switches the brothers. It creates this, like, basically it halves the season. The first season, or first part of the season, it's all about Francis becoming king, and now it's about Bash, and is Bash suited for this? Like, is he ready? And at this point in the story where we are, Bash doesn't even know. Bash is still locked up,
and Bash doesn't want it.
No, and Bash doesn't want it, which I'm a firm believer that in terms of positions of power, the people that are best suited for it are the ones that don't want it. And I find that I don't think either of the boys really want it.
Yeah.
I think they both want Mary, but neither of them wants like to be king, which is interesting. I don't know.
No, and that I thought that was a very interesting turn that they took with Francis's character, because you feel like, oh, he's been preparing for this, and throughout earlier episodes in the season, you see him like arguing with Mary because he's like, I have to do what's right. I am the king. I don't have a choice. Da 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 da. But then in this episode, you see him be like, you know what, like, if I'm going to continue to do what's best for the, like, you feel like he just wants to be king earlier on, but now you see, no. Francis truly just loves his country. He loves France, like, and he wants what's best for France.
Totally.
And I don't even think it's just his love for Mary, but I think he knows that Mary is good for France.
Yep. Yeah, he wants, at the end of the day, well, he wants her, but he also wants her to want him, like, I mean, and that's what we see a little bit later too, is his acquiescence along that. But okay, so we see the Queen and the King, and I just love the phrase, so much for the love story of Mary and Bash, like where the King realizes, like, no, they weren't running away together because they were in love with one another, but there were ulterior motives. So okay, now we finally get to Kenna.
All right,
Kenna. All right, look at me, Kenna. It's not all about you. All right. I need you to know that it's not all about you.
And sleeping with the king, this kind of like,
it doesn't make you that special, girl. Like, I mean, we've all been there, but
you look super cute with your little head thing and your dress, and
you're always looking cute. I mean, you mad represent on the cute. But that being said, it's not all about you. But like we were saying earlier, she does go from starting the scene with being like, well, what about me? To actually helping Mary piece together the, basically what's happening with Catherine and the poison.
Yeah.
And so she saw that cat died right after Ailey fell, and
which I wish, okay, because they showed us in that the last episode, the cat drinking it, and I remember we discussed it. We said, oh, well, the cat didn't die, so she obviously wasn't poisoned, and like I truly believed at the end of last episode that she was not poisoned, and that was all Clarissa, and so I was like, oh, that's stupid. So I still wonder if the cat really did die.
I feel like, and I didn't get to talk about it with you guys because
you weren't here.
I wasn't.
You're such an asshole.
I'm so sorry. I wasn't here, and I feel like I let
you
you down.
Early for the holidays.
I was at a holiday party. And a lot.
The truth comes out.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, that I totally thought, because didn't they show her just briefly and she was kind of like woozy or whatever, like, and then they show so I definitely thought that the thing was, they just didn't show the cat dying. I definitely thought it was poisoned. But yeah, so Kenna pieces that together. Then Mary goes and confronts the Queen. And basically it was like, you can see such great acting by the actress of Catherine. I'll look at it in a second.
That Canadian queen.
Right. Megan Follows.
Megan Fellows, right? Follows. Megan Follows. Ugh, you were awesome.
So good in this episode. But like,
she's like my Cersei. I mean, I like her better than Cersei in Game. I just love her.
On a different episode, or maybe just later in this one, we'll discuss Cersei versus Catherine, because that's a great thing. As you guys know, I love calling this Gossip Girl of Thrones. So like, so this is totally on my jam. But Mary says to the Queen, "I made my sacrifice. Now it's time to make yours," and that's exactly what ends up happening. Even though Mary forces the hand in that. So next up we have the bro fight.
And this is the thing. Catherine can't even argue with Mary in that situation.
No.
Like, Mary has taken hit after hit after hit from Catherine trying to make everything happen the way Catherine wants it to happen. But if Catherine truly wants to save Francis, it's not going to happen the way she wants it to happen.
Yeah.
She needs to just, like, like let it go a little bit. Like take a note from Frozen and let it go. I love that song.
It's a good song. Wait, just side note, if you guys haven't seen it yet, there's a censored version of Frozen. First of all, go see Frozen. Second of all, on YouTube, somebody went and unnecessarily censored
I haven't
Frozen.
seen that yet, but I've only heard great things about it.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Anyway, it'll have you singing.
We digress.
We digress. All right. So no, but seriously, get your life. Go watch that. All right. So Catherine, basically is just like, it's not fair. Like she all but says it's not fair because Mary is about to become like the most powerful person in Europe, with these 3 different countries, all under her control.
And Mary doesn't even want it.
And Catherine's like, I'm so mad. Like
so close.
Yeah, and because of this, she's she just knows, and as we see later, it does mean, it's like out with the old, in with the new, basically. Like in this movie, so much happens in this episode. Like really, like it's such a turning point. I'm glad that they saved it for after the break, because like we left on kind of a cliffhanger, and now it's like, all right. But yeah, so we have the bro fight, and Mary luckily comes in at the nick of time to say like, "Oh, boys, stop fighting."
I love that Francis got to beat Bash up.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, thank you for making Bash a little dirty and like rough, because we all love Bash like that.
Finally.
But Francis, okay, he deserved that. He deserved to get a little thing out on Bash a little bit.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, dude's like chained up in a prison. Like, all right,
But
talk
have a
about
little-
being a guy when he's down.
I know, but have a little empathy for Francis and like his point of view.
Oh
of this
yeah,
whole
but that's
situation.
what like. But that's what Mary
he
said.
needed to do that, because, and I think if he wouldn't have been able to like have that upper hand for a little bit, I don't think the end of the episode he would have been able to hold his head high and take it so gracefully.
He got to get his.
He got his 1-2 punch in.
Yeah, I was gonna say his rocks off for he got it. He got to have it.
Yeah.
And so now he can be the bigger man.
There's a lot behind those punches and kicks, not just like
that's just brotherly stuff. It's like
Well,
years and years.
I know,
of,
tons of years. Like you're my dad's favorite, F you, and then you've also are trying to steal the woman I love, F you.
Yeah, and then but Mary clears it up. He doesn't know about it. He does, and that's when Bash learns that, he's now going to be.
Bash is pissed.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I'm gonna be what? Like, you're gonna put a crown on my what? Like,
Okay.
on his head.
Unnecessary.
On
your what?
Yeah, no. And so Francis is like, I love you, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna forgive this. And so. Next we get Nostradamus and Catherine, and she has a plan. Catherine always has a plan.
She always does.
And that plan is to kill Mary, Bash, and the jailer to cover it all up. They're going to make it look like it all ran off, but the king has other plans.
Well, the king's not stupid. I mean, nobody's stupid. Again, Catherine can't win at this episode. She cannot win. Everybody knows that she's playing tons of tricks. Francis, Henry, Mary, Bash. Everybody knows Catherine is stirring
It's
the
the
pot.
spinning plates thing. She has too many plates going, and they all crumble.
Yeah.
They all
She's
all
juggling
fall.
too many
Yeah,
balls
too
at
many
this
balls,
point.
and they're all falling. And so the king, Bash, and Mary all meet in secret. This happens to save Mary's life, as dude was coming in to strangle her in the night. And then they come to terms with this. They are going to go through with what Mary has propositioned. And so now
we're both thinking, like, because we think way too into this. Don't drink the
wine.
Don't drink the wine.
And they didn't, though. Did you see that?
But Henry did.
Yeah, Henry did, but Henry was the one that
I know.
that had it. And so like it was one of those things where it was like, smart Bash, smart Mary.
Yes, I
Like-
agree, and I loved seeing that, because you even saw it in their acting of like,
Yeah,
them
they're like-
they picked it up and they both kind of looked at it. They both kind of looked at each other, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're
Yeah, they wait for him to
about
drink, and they're like, "That's great. I'm
cool.
glad
we're
you're doing
still
that."
not drinking it
Yeah.
because you might have poisoned the rim of my glass."
Yep. No, poison is a frequent thing in this time and age. And so the next scene is everybody in the throne room, and like literally everyone. It starts out with the king, Bash, and Mary confronting Catherine, and then Francis is like, "Oh, you guys meeting? you guys meeting? Oh, hold up. Mom, if you harm anyone here, I will kill you.
Yeah. Like seeing Francis flip on his mother
Mm-hmm.
was, I mean, and you gotta feel for Catherine a little. I know, I know we love to hate Catherine, we really do, but oh my God, you just saw her world crumble.
Yeah.
The one reason why she's putting her life in danger all of this time is because of her son Francis and because of her other children. And you just see him turn on her, and her that look on her face was,
I know.
Oh my God, like she was like, I gotta give up. Like
Yep.
in that moment. Obviously, like 10 minutes later, I'm sure Catherine is scheming again. But like to see such a strong woman just completely deflate. Oh.
Well, I mean, her scheme from that point on, just to keep us moving, is that she's gonna scheme into the nunnery, like, and basically that's where she's gonna go, where she's gonna be protected from the king, and also be, like that's her best option at this point, which is interesting because that's where Mary comes from. Mary comes from the nunnery, and now Catherine is going to it, and it's nice and poetic.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Get thee to a nunnery.
It's Hamlet, everybody. Hamlet. I've been in Hamlet like 3 times. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I've only been in Romeo and Juliet. And so okay, so now, like, just moving on, we've got Catherine and Mary, and they're talking about what it means to be a queen. And happiness is the thing queens never have. Yep. And power is always fleeting, taken away by the stroke of a pen or a swing of an axe. Yeah. And that's just a little foreshadowing on people who know their history, what happens with Mary. But, power is fleeting. And we see from the beginning of this episode to the end, we see the fall of Catherine, at least the Catherine that we know. We know she's a tough bee. She'll be back. Like, she's going to have some stuff.
Can't get a good girl down.
You can't. And then, so next, let's talk about shanking. Clarissa.
Clarissa shanked!
Clarissa shanks it all. And,
blood!
Like, so much blood from here.
Is he alive?
Necular region. Yes. Well, we're gonna. Yeah, that's the medical term. So we'll get to whether or not he's alive, but Clarissa shanks him and then pieces out. And so, like, with a piece of wood, I don't understand how she was able to get out of her cuffs. I thought she was in cuffs, or like in some sort of.
No, she was not in any cuffs. She was just in that little cage.
She was just in the cage.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. And then so that's like the big cliffhanger for him, and then we go to. It
scares me that Clarissa's out. I'm scared.
I still like her.
I still
she
scares me.
I think she's supposed to, but I think she has the best I think she might be somebody who is cruel but is still working from love, and I don't know what that love is or like who she is.
That makes people go cray.
Yeah, no, it's true. No, there's so much cray about to happen on this, and there's so much cray. And then speaking of which, okay, we'll just end it so that we can talk about what we think is going to happen, what kind of cray we're going to be seeing next week, because we get Bash and Mary in a windowsill,
which gave me goosebumps. This scene, literally. I still, when I think about it, I'm a little verklempt.
Right. And he basically says, I went from the chopping block to the throne. And they talk about just how fickle things are, and just, it starts with them, it ends with them in this episode. And we really just see it's literally them on the run to them being the next king and queen of France. And
him saying, you're gonna be my wife soon. And, and I loved the line of, we did this to save Francis, but we lost him as a result.
Mm-hmm. And that, my friends, is how you write an excellent TV show. Like, it's you give somebody a goal and then you let them attain it, but it turns out to be exactly what they didn't want. Like that's excellent writing. So, all right, is it time for us? Do we want to do?
Let's get into predictions.
Yeah.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
That's
new. Ooh.
I like it.
I didn't see that coming.
It's like an alien ship just shot down and then left.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to let you go first in terms of predictions that you have. I'll give you some questions maybe. What is the relationship between Nostradamus and Clarissa? Is Nostradamus dead? Where the flip is Olivia? Tell me what you predict.
Well, just really quick, a shout out to Agnes Obel. Her song. Great song that was in the end of the episode. And
totally.
I love that they tell us what music they put in there, and there's these artists that not very many people know. So download her stuff because it sounds great. I think there's no way Nostradamus could be dead. They can't kill him off. I mean, if they do kill him off, I think it's going to go a little bit more into fantasy realm, and I think he'll become a ghost and still be involved. I don't think they can't get rid of him. He freaking like is a narrator for the show. Long may she reign. Great. I loved that Francis had that line at the end.
Yeah.
I'm scared that Clarissa is out. It terrifies me, and I'm wondering if Clarissa's gonna go after Bash. Because I feel like Clarissa wants Francis and Mary together. So that scares me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I feel like Francis is gonna start sleeping around and like being very like blatant.
He alludes to it.
Yeah, he's gonna be so blatant about the fact that he doesn't have to be king anymore because like he's always been jealous of Bash and like the life Bash has been able to live. So being the freedom, he says.
Yeah.
And so I think we're gonna see not only Mary's heart break because of it. I think we're gonna see Bash's heart really break because he's gonna see his brother go down a path that he's not gonna like. That's not gonna be good for anybody. I think Catherine is going to find a way to get out of jail. She always will.
Yep.
I wonder if she will. I know I kind of alluded to this. I wonder if she was going to try to seduce Henry or bring him back to the memories they used to have. I don't know how he can do it because they really hated each other this episode. You saw the hate. And I don't know. I'm excited to kind of dig deeper into Greer and oh my goodness, it's Greer, Kenna.
I was wondering that too. While we were,
Greer's the blonde. Okay, I can't remember, but the girl from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What is her name? It's gonna kill me now.
We don't have time to check it out now, but anyways, you guys
remind me
tweet at us.
I want to see their
storyline.
I want Greer's lovely kitchen boy and that relationship to butt up more.
Yep.
I still want him to get like brought up to nobility by like saving somebody's life or doing something noble. So then she will be able to get with him. And yeah.
So for me, I do think that it's a paternal daughter thing between Nostradamus and Clarissa. I don't think Nostradamus is dead. I do think that he won't be able to talk. And so like he might be able to have visions but she stabbed him in the throat, so he won't be able to talk. And so like I mean, so he'll still be able to see stuff. He'll still be there, but I think that at least for a couple episodes he'll still be around.
What if Clarissa belongs to Catherine?
Oh, well, that's the thing is I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I still want to know, is Olivia just wandering around in the tunnels? Did Clarissa kill her? I don't know. And then I also think the Queen and Henry are totally going to do it by the end of the season, probably right before he dies. Yes. But that's it for today.
Yes, well, tweet us your predictions. Let us know what you think about this podcast, what we can do better, any information you want to share, and we will definitely shout out to you.
Yeah, any predictions, anything like that. If you just want to talk, if you want to tell us what kind of the shippers that you guys are you bashers or you?
What are you? Are you Bash or Francis?
I think I'm Bash. I think I'm
Francis.
Oh, all right. We can fight it out.
On.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter or on Insta at Ean Weslynn, EanWeslynn. Hit me up.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KeetinM33. And just remember, hashtag get Keetin on Reign.
Yep. And I've been using hashtag Reign Rules. So, yeah. Hit us up.
We love Reign.
We do.
Thanks, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.